This week we have the post-apocalyptic car blaster of a game, Mad Carnage, versus the wacky party game known as Rawr-Off. Let's take a look at Mad Carnage first. Now when loading this game up, I have fairly high expectations due to the fact that the opening screen looks like a scene out of Mad Max. You have a wicked car approaching evil cars, rockets flying all about the screen. I mean, what's not to love about this picture? But then you load it up and you are hit with literally page after page after page after page of text that creates the story for the game. It's like I downloaded a novel instead of a game, which, according to the eShop, is actually a selling point of this game. Immersive storyline created by best-selling sci-fi novelist Evan Curry, who, I'll admit, I had to Google, and it turns out he actually is an author who's written more than 20 books and has worked in the local lobster industry for the last decade. Anyway, this game starts off as a novel and then turns into a graphic novel, which is better, and then finally 15 minutes in turns into an actual game. The game itself is not action-packed like the picture would lead us to believe, but instead a turn-based strategy game where you command multiple cars attempting to destroy the opposing team's cars. You have a few options such as turrets, rockets, and ramming ability to destroy the opposing team, and the controls, they are a little wonky at the start of the game because you can't really choose which direction to drive your vehicle very easily. It always seemed like you had to go forward or forward with a very slight turn. Meaning if you wanted to turn around to attack someone, it would take like 3 turns just to turn around. As you progress, this problem is actually resolved pretty quickly because you can upgrade your vehicle after completing every single level. You can use these upgrades to make the maneuvering easier, make weapons more powerful, or just simply to go faster. These little upgrades make completing levels way more rewarding because you continue to grow more and more in power the further that you got into the game. Some levels took a few tries to complete, but it was actually a good bit of fun developing strategies on how to defeat all of the enemy cars. I'll admit, I was a little disappointed in this game at first because I was expecting racing cars firing rockets back in an action-packed carnage of a game, and I got a very slow-paced thinking game instead. However, the more I played it, the more I actually came to enjoy this pretty unique title. The second game competing is a fairly wacky looking game called Rawr-Off. Now when loading the game up, it already commits a grave sin to players like me, commanding that the game is only able to use one Joy-Con because it's a motion controlled game. Ugh. You basically choose a character and then you move the Joy-Con cursor around the map to collect ammo to shoot at the opposing player. Once the opposing player is hit enough times, you win the round. There are some power-ups to get, but ultimately, this is the entire game. I could see it possibly being fun if you had a couple of players competing together on the game, but as a single-player game, this is nearly mind-numbing. But let's say you want to be a rebel and not use the motion controls and play handheld mode. Well, the game now requires you to use the switch vertically to play the game, and it becomes a touchscreen game. There is so much more that I hate about this. First off, the touchscreen. Blah. Second, who on earth ever holds their Switch like this? I feel like this is a mode that was included just so they can market the game to Switch Lite players, which they proudly acknowledge on the eShop page right here. This is one of those games I would actually put up a good bit of resistance if someone wanted to play. However, the character selection is something to be looked at in this game. Baby Cthulhu, the Lovecraftian creature from the sea, but baby version. Schrodinger's cat. If I'm saying it right, a paradox a physicist created regarding a cat that can be both alive and dead at the same time. And Zombie Lakia, the first Soviet dog that went into space and I guess somehow became a zombie in this storyline. The creators really wanted to have some unique characters in this game, which is cool and all. However, it's a shame they were all wasted on such a mind-numbing party game like this. So which of these two games is going to get to advance to the next round? A futuristic strategy game that continued to grow in fun as the levels progressed, or a party game that would almost certainly make people want to leave your party the second you load it up? So for this round, Mad Carnage is going to take the cake. I can actually see myself playing this game more in the future, and after finishing the one-player mode, it also has a multiplayer battle system to keep it fresh. The reading at the start was a bit overdrawn, however, the core game and the graphic novel storytelling was a very unique experience. Rawr-Off, on the other hand, was miserable from the moment I loaded the game up due to the control schemes and the overall game experience. So congratulations to Mad Carnage as you get to advance to the next round and travel on your way to possibly becoming champion of the cheap Year 2 edition. Tune in next week for Adrenaline Rush versus Bubble Cat's Rescue, and comment down below which game you feel should advance this week. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and as always, go out there, find a great game to play, just simply have a great rest of the day.